Hello everybody and welcome to Adventure Theory. My name is Ben. Now on this adventure we're going to go back out to the Dugway Geode Beds to look for some amazing rocks and crystals that might be lying around and easy to get. And we got lucky on this adventure because we came across a couple who had a rock saw in the desert. So I'm going to show you why it's really nice to have access to a rock saw. And you can have access. There's rock shops and other places that will cut rocks for you. So whatever your local area is, look up a rock shop or anywhere that has a rock saw if you come across some geodes, because they look a whole lot nicer when you cut them in half perfectly with a saw versus opening them cheaply with a chisel or just a big hammer. And I'm also going to show you the cheapest way to make your rocks look nice, whether it's geodes or fossils or whatever. There's a very simple process. It's very cheap that you can get at almost any pharmacy to make these rocks pop and look amazing. Let's go. So just as a fun family adventure, something to do on a Saturday afternoon, we came back here to the Dugway Geode Beds. And as always, we found a bunch of really neat rocks. And these rock shards of ancient geodes, they're just sitting on the ground all over this area, so you don't necessarily have to dig. Just walking around, you can come across these crystal shards from people that have broken open geodes, as well as geodes that have just been broken because of when they excavated the area in order to make it easier for people to find them. And the crystal shards really are everywhere. But there is also intact geodes just laying around, some of which you don't even have to dig for. You can just find them laying on the top, again, from when they brought in an excavator to churn this whole area up to make these easier to find. Others, you just dig down a little ways. But the point is, you never know where you're gonna find these geodes. And I came across this big old daddy just sitting right on the top all by itself. But interestingly, there's an older couple that drove by and set up shop just down from us. It's that motor you can hear in the distance. They set up a generator with a rock saw. So what we're gonna do is, instead of chisel this open and risk breaking it into many pieces, we're gonna walk down there and ask them if they would cut this open cleanly for us. Let's see if they'll help us out. All right, so these older folks back here in this truck behind me were super nice and absolutely cut my geode in half for me, and this is what I got. That's a pretty neat specimen, and they were nice enough to cut it flat on the bottom, so it'll sit right. These are gonna be a great adventure trophy, and it was super kind to run into these folks with a rock saw out here in the middle of the desert. So that's pretty awesome. But this adventure's not over yet, so let's see what else we can find. That's a horny toad.
Whoa! Important.
So I got my geodes and brought them home. That nice guy in the desert cut it in half for me. And what I did next is I put some mineral oil on it to make it shine a little bit so it doesn't look so dull and dusty. And I'll give you an example of the difference it makes on a fossil I found just about 40 miles away from where we dug out these geodes. Here's a trilobite fossil from the U-Dig fossil beds, not far from where we found the geodes. In fact, I also have a video on where you can find these. So if you're interested, check out the channel. Tons more adventures. Here's the raw fossil. Regular old mineral oil that you can get anywhere. So as you can see, the mineral oil makes a huge difference on how these rocks shine. It really makes them pop, it makes it look wet. Now it will weather faster if you put it outside for like a garden, but if it's kept indoors, it'll look nice like this for a very long time, and it's a very inexpensive way to polish up your rocks to make them look nice.